Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time you guys are watching this video. I hope you're having a good day. I'm having a good day. It's kind of late right now, but we're making a video because I haven't made a video in a while. I have a ton of stuff that I want to show you guys. We're moving along, but let me show you. I got jammed up in the middle of this project, and I want to show you guys what is screwing me on this and preventing me from getting it done. And that's why I also haven't made a video on it, and I've been trying to slowly figure out what I want to do. I want your guys' opinion. Let me know in the comments down below. Yeah, I'm half tempted to really honestly do this. Drop some money to physically finish it with this coyote over here because of what has happened. But let me show you guys the problem I'm facing. Looky, looky. Non-typical GM aluminum 5.3 liter block. The difference between this and the problem that I'm having is this is the bell housing, or where the bell housing bolts to, and typically you can see the outline of the block here. It would originally go on the outside of it. You can see how much more this is recessed down, and if you look at this rear cover, which is almost the same size as the front timing cover, it's barely bigger than this rear cover. So that's really the issue that I'm having. This isn't a standard bolt pattern. Your standard bolt pattern, these bolts here that your bell housing bolts to would usually be out here, down here, like here, all the way up here would be one, up here would be one, obviously over there, and down there. This is an LS4, and it was only offered in front-wheel drive cars, and this is literally the only GM block that I know of that they made that is a front-wheel drive only, or gets this front-wheel drive only bell housing bolt pattern, or whatever you want to call it. So this block is the only LS block to ever be casted differently than any of the other LS blocks. And to me, it seems kind of silly to put all that effort into casting this block and, you know, doing all that different. Why not just adapt your transmission to fit? But who knows, maybe it was a space issue, maybe it was, you know, something else, but I don't know, guys. I really don't know. I'm at a loss for words. So I'm asking you guys for your help. Let me know in the comments down below. Do I continue doing the LS? How many of you want to see an NA nitrous LS and a Fox body? How many of you want to see the Coyote sitting over there? That route is going to take longer by a long shot. If I do the LS, I can have the car running probably within the month. Now, if I do the Coyote, it'll probably take 5 months to get that running, and it's going to be very expensive. It's just going to be very, very expensive. But if you look up there, there is a 2015 Coyote intake. So we have some parts. We got a block. We got an intake. I have an oil pan. I need a timing cover. I believe I have oil pump gears as well, factory oil pump gears, which I would probably just, you know, get good ones since we're already here. But I do have stock oil pump gears that are in great shape, no issues that I know of. I would need timing cover, cylinder heads, and then just pretty much accessories, you know, crank pulley and idlers and that type of stuff. And then we're also going to need a transmission. If somebody makes an adapter, I don't know what I would have to do. I have to do some research. If there's an adapter that goes from the Turbo 350/400s, or the same, you know, bell housing. If there's an adapter that goes from those to the Coyotes, if somebody's made it yet, or if I have to do some, you know, where you send it in and they cut the front of the transmission off and then they make their like bell housing bolt to it, or you know, that type of thing. We'd have to figure that out. And then also I would have to get a fuel system for it. Essentially what's on there now is 2 low pressure carburetor style regulators, and the fuel pump is kind of small for what we would, I guess it would work NA, but it would be, you know, a little bit on the small side for what we're trying to do. You know, some sort of engine management, whether it's an AEM Infinity, a Holley Dominator, you know, a Mega Squirt. I would probably go with either an AEM Infinity or a Holley Dominator for the ability to control the variable valve or the variable cam timing, both intake and exhaust. And, you know, I think that's something that's going to be big in making power, and also a big learning curve for me and the tuning aspect of things. So to those of you that don't know, I'm trying to learn how to tune. I've been messing with it a little bit. I'm trying to learn diesel. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. I'm doing a lot of things at a time. That's just how I am, and I always am doing it behind the scenes. I'm studying, you know, I always do research, and I'm constantly teaching myself and constantly learning new things, which is really cool because every time I learn something new, I get to share it with you guys as well. And it's just, you know, it's one of those beautiful things like, hey guys, I figured this out, check it out, what do you guys think? You know, and I think that's awesome. So all the knowledge, all the research doesn't go to waste in a sense, because not only do I get to know it, but I get to teach it to you guys, and you guys get to know it. So I think that's cool. And also I want to show you guys what I did to the Cobra, because if you guys don't know, I took the Cobra and put it on a lift and pulled a bunch of stuff out of it and put it back together, and it could be leaking right now, but I pulled the diff out. It was leaking on the exhaust, making a mess, smoking. I need to actually add some diff fluid to it because I know it's a little bit on the low side, because I pulled the diff out, dripped some, lost some, and, you know, messing with it. I drove it home and it was plenty fine to drive home. There's plenty in there to do all that type of stuff, and the fluid looked good. There was a little bit more metal than I wanted, but I'm wondering if that was partially from my new clutch packs I installed, because I installed a set of limited slip clutch packs, the carbon fiber clutch packs in this, and I think they have a little bit of a break-in, and as you know, as they wear, as they're brand new, they kind of wear and break in a little bit. But the magnet had, you know, some coating on it, and it's also, you know, it's a differential. It's metal and metal gears, and that's what they do. But let's look at it. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it looks pretty good. Looks to be pretty dry. Not a lot of stuff on it. You can see the exhaust still has, I don't know if you guys can see that. That exhaust still has some oil on it. I didn't clean that. I was being lazy, and yeah, I just didn't clean it. The rest of this seems to be nice and dry now, so I need to physically clean it. I was in a hurry when I was doing this, like I feel like I always am. This puddle here is previously under the car. It's been there for a little bit, so I'm going to wipe it up and make sure that it's good. But yeah, all I really got to do is clean this exhaust. And just so you guys know, I'm probably going to pull it out soon and clean these tips. These tips are freaking disgusting, as you guys can see. So it's not very difficult to pull this entire exhaust up to the clamps up there where I take it out to do the transmission. There's the 2-bolt clamps, and I need to fix those as well, bend them. One of them's kind of screwed up. So long story short, I'm going to pull it off, and we're going to clean these tips up and polish them and make them look nice again. I just think it makes the car look better. Somebody got rubber all over here. I don't know who that was, but you know, there's rubber there we need to clean off as well. Oh, and also when I was driving home, the passenger side tire here wheel was actually rubbing again, and I can't figure out what it is. It's rubbing on the inside. I can hear it making a little bit of noise. So we need to either get back in there with the grinder or see what's rubbing, if it just changed when I moved the suspension around. In order to pull the axles out and pull the differential, well, in order to pull the differential out, you have to pull the axles out, which means I have to unbolt a lot of the suspension components. So when I do that, you know, maybe something moved around and it is not happy now, but we're gonna figure that out and I'll show you guys that. So I'm gonna start videotaping a lot more of this because I do a lot of it and I'm sure you guys wanna see it. But me just being me, I just get in it and forget the camera and grab it and I just go. So we're gonna try and be better about that in the future, and I wanna show you guys all this beautiful stuff that we get to do on the car. That way you can do it to your car. When I'm an idiot, you get to see me be an idiot, and then you don't get to do the idiot stuff to your car. But that's pretty much it for this video. A little update. Just wanted to give you guys a hint of what we're doing and what's going on at the house. And stay tuned. We got some cool diesel stuff coming up. I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do tuning wise to the truck. We're either going to start tuning it as is with the DPF on and learn how to tune it legally. And then if we can't If I start having problems, which, you know, may or may not, the problem with the DPF and tuning it that way is I don't know if I'm doing good or bad. The DPF could get really mad at me and get really plugged up, and you know what I mean? Things could go kind of south from there. So I want to really learn how to do it and tune properly. And this truck, I feel like at the power level it's at and everything that it is from the factory, there's very little room for mistake. So, you know, on it, if you have an NA engine that makes very little power and you start tuning it, like the 6-liter truck that I used to have was my dad's old truck. When I started tuning that, there's a lot of leeway there. I could set the timing stupid ignorant and just stick a bunch of it in it and lean it the heck out, and it could knock and go lean and do all this stuff, and it would take a lot of that in order to really damage that engine. You could see a lot of knock and go over it for a long period of time before you really truly had a bad problem or a bad issue from it. So, and that's an NA motor. But with this truck that makes, you know, 450 horsepower and 935 foot-pounds of torque, there's some, you know, power being made. There's the window of error is, you know, from being this big on a gas engine to, you know, this big on a diesel engine, especially with the injector timing. It's a whole new world. It's a whole new ordealio. And then you have split injection and all these other crazy variables going on. But nonetheless, we're going to be figuring this out, guys. I want to be able to teach you guys it. I want to be able to show you guys it. I want to be able to learn it on my own. That way, there's nobody that said they helped me, or, you know, I wouldn't upset anybody if I, per se, gave away information from learning how to tune that wouldn't, you know, already not be okay with it. So I appreciate all of you guys watching. If you're new to the channel, feel free to hit that subscribe button. Also, hit that notification bell so you know my next video comes out. And it is going to be sooner than later, guys, because I'm really trying to work on this. I think I've said that the last 7 videos. Maybe it's 8 videos now. But in all seriousness, we are trying to work on it. I've just been really busy with life. A lot going on. I have a big vacation coming up here in the near future. I also want to show you guys, you know, some of that footage. But as always, I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. But it's time for you guys to get the heck out of here.